Hi everybody, this is a pen review, and this is a review of this pen. If you are a pen fan, you probably know that this is a Retro 51. A Retro 51 is a brand of mid-priced pens, and this is their ballpoint pen. This is the Retro 51, and this one comes in a really cool sort of denim blue anodized color. The pen is a twisty pen, so that even though it kind of looks like a clicky, you twist open the pen and the refill, the writing tip is produced. It comes with a steel pocket clip, and inside is the Schmidt EasyFlow 9000 rebranded refill. And this is one of my favorite ballpoint refills of all time. It is truly great. It puts this significantly ahead of something like the Fisher Space Pen in terms of page feel and writing performance, and it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's a truly great refill. The one thing that I wanted to say about this pen, and the reason why I'm bothering to do a video review on a pen when it's much easier to do sort of a written review, which I will do, is that this is the third Retro 51 that I've owned. I bought one that was just a classic black barrel, and I bought a stainless barrel, and then I bought this one. And I don't have the other two here because the other two broke. I know that pen fans really like this pen because you're getting good writing performance, good looks, in a relatively inexpensive package. But if you're somebody that carries your pens and uses your pens in less than ideal situations, like I travel from court to court, I get in my car, I throw stuff in my bag, I write a bunch, I write standing up, I write up on a wall, I write, down in a jail cell, I write on cinder blocks, all that kind of stuff. This pen just does not hold up. I spent $100 because these are, about $30, $35 pens. I spent $100 in Retro 51s, and none of them have lasted me longer than this one. I've only had this one for 3 months. On the black one, the twist mechanism broke, and it was not something I could repair. I took the whole pen apart, and it was actually just cracking along the... It just broke. The little twist mechanism cracked, and I couldn't put it together again. It wasn't pieces were missing or pieces were out of place. The pieces were destroyed. And then on the silver one, the pocket clip broke, which wasn't a big deal, but when I went to take the pocket clip off, the inside broke. Again, basically the same twist mechanism in a slightly different place, it broke. So at this point, I spent $100 on these pens, and I much rather would have spent $100 on something like a Vanishing Point, which would have held up much better, or which would have held up probably as good, if not better, and written much, much, much better. I mean, the Vanishing Point is a really great writer. Or I could have spent $100 on something like a Tough Writer, and even though it uses a Fisher refill, which I find to be inferior to the refills in the Retro 51s, it would have held up forever. I mean, I've had my Tough Writer for over 2 years, and it's still perfectly fine. I know a lot of people like this pen, and I feel kind of bad for crapping on it, but I just don't think it's worth the money. Even this pen, there's a little bit of wiggle in the writing, so that when you're writing, you kind of hear like a clicking as you're moving across the page. The refill is not tightly held in there. It's sort of loose in the twist mechanism. And then when you are actually going to change the refill, it sort of just feels sloppy inside the pen. I don't know if it's a fit and finish issue. I don't know if it's, that I've gotten the only three bad Retro 51s. But I think that, if I had one and it didn't work, that would be one thing. If I had two and it didn't work, But this is my third one, and I haven't been pleased with any of them. And this is the only one that's still working, so I guess that means it's better than the other two. But given how much money I've spent on these 3 pens, and how much money they are, I mean, like, this is not a pen that I think is any better than the Jotter. It might look better than the Jotter, but I think that the Parker refills, or the Parker style refill, includes something like the Schmidt 9000. You could drop it in there and you would have, a pen that writes just as well. I think the Jotter actually looks quite nice, and it'd be like $11 as opposed to this, which is like $35. You can get a Jotter for $6 or $8 and then the refill. I just don't think these are really good value. I think they are stylish. They're definitely stylish. I always get comments when I pull this pen out to use. But they're just not well built, especially for the money. For $35, you'd expect something a little nicer. It's not $100, and I get that, but $35, you're talking 3 or 4 Jotters, and this is certainly not 3 or 4 Jotters better. The other thing is, if the F701, the Zebra F701 is out there, and you can modify it to take the Schmidt refills, which is quite easy to do. It is 100 times better than this pen, and that setup is even cheaper than the Jotter setup, because I think the F701s are like $6, $5. So this is a video overview of the Retro 51, and I will be doing a review, but it will not be a good review because this is my third one and they've all stunk.